hang out and listen and add anything you want. All right. Hello. We're live at Sacred Touch Healing Arts Center. I'm Michelle McLemore, Healing Guide, and I'm delighted to be with you. So if you are logging in at any time, I don't know how long Be Live will run the video, if it's a 15-minute or if you'll go the full hour with us. So I'm glad you're here, and I will occasionally keep checking to see if you have typed any questions or comments for me. And I'll try to answer those toward the end as we can. We do have an exciting group of people with us today. So don't be shy about asking questions, and you may, if you hear voices, that'll be them asking questions or talking as well, okay? It might be times where you won't necessarily see what we're doing, but you should still be able to hear us. All right, so again, today's video is about introduction to the human energy system, what that means, how to know if your system is off balance, and what you can do to start taking care of yourself for that, okay? So I'm going to start directing toward my live people, but thanks for joining, and here we go. Am I talking too fast?
No.
Okay, it's a lot of information in a very short time, but I always, whenever I give workshops, I want you to get your money's worth. This isn't as up and live. Well, it's donation free, so it's technically free, but if you feel like you got something out of it, you want to donate to my dinner fund. That's always appreciated. So, a little bit about myself. Who am I? Michelle McLemore. I call myself a healing guide now because of the variety of modalities I use to help my clients to improve their overall health. And that means mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. It's the whole package now that we work with because as a psychologist, I teach psychology also. As a psychologist now, I've found our physical symptoms aren't starting from just physical problems. They're coming from a lot of other things, and that's how they're manifesting. And our body gives us hints, first slow and subtle, and then those symptoms get larger and louder until we're forced to deal with them and recognize them. Okay? So it's all about how are you in balance or out of balance, and that fluctuates. So I call myself a healing guide because healing is a continuous process as long as we're alive. Every day we have small battles. We have emotional issues. We have that coworker who just won't quit. We have family stress. We have the dog gets sick in the living room right when you're trying to go out the door. We hit a nerve on that one. So there's all these small things which can affect us and throw us off a little bit. So it's always about what can we do to stay the most balanced. And the more balanced we are, the healthier we are overall. Okay. So variety of modalities. I have a certified healing touch practitioner. I'm a third level Reiki practitioner. I have level 1 sacred geometry, which is another energy therapy. I do dream analysis, lucid dream coaching, and dream communication coaching. Some of my clients who have like anxieties or even generalized anxiety disorder, by helping them with their dream analysis and then teaching them how to actually manipulate their dreams, that empowers them so they actually then can transfer it once successful in their dreams, actually take action and feel more confident in their daily life. Okay. Essential oils consultation and usage, trauma release. Just started picking up angel card readings, which are very fun. But just a variety of things, stress management in general, tying in movement, nutrition, things like that. Okay. So there's all this stuff, but basically it just boils down to, hey, I'm a healing guide or healing coach. Okay. All right. Quick review of the facilities. So we have restrooms. Feel free to get up any time if you need to. It is over there. There's also a water jug, water cups there. We have 2 exits in case there's a fire for some bizarre reason, the one you came in, but there's also one through the kitchen over here. Okay. Highly unlikely. Been here a long time, never had a fire. We're good. It is an hour, a workshop. Okay. And we'll go the full hour. Anytime you have a question, feel free to just blurt it out. You don't have to raise your hand. I might miss it. You can ask me to repeat anything if I'm going too fast. Anything that you're comfortable with. This is, we have the time to work with whatever you want to do. Okay. All right. So overall purpose, overview of what is energy in general. If I could just get a quick survey from you. How many of you, the things I was talking about as far as energy, you have a little bit of idea of what energy is as far as And I'm not talking about when you eat food and it goes to your mitochondria and starts giving your body fuel. I'm talking about energy, universal energy. Any idea? A little bit? A little bit? Lot? A little bit? Zero?
Zero.
Okay, so we got zero knowledge to a little bit. So guess what that means? It means you're going to learn a whole bunch. And so if at any time you hear something and you're like, what, didn't get that at all? Stop me, okay? Because I want you to walk out with a good basis, because you're going to keep hearing about energy work, energy therapies, energy balance. The Western medicine is finally catching up with the rest of the world, and they have University of Michigan. Their medical students have a healing touch practitioner go in every year and talk to their medical students now, explaining what the energy system is. Numerous research studies have proven it now. So it's not a myth. It's not something from the 60s that we're just making it up. It's not just yogi. No, it's out there and it's real. Okay, so I want you to leave feeling that you know enough of the basics that you won't be lost in a conversation or think that the people you talk to are totally crazy. They might be a little crazy. That's good for all of us.
Right.
Okay. So overview of energy system. How do you know if you're out of balance? And how to start naturally working toward homeostasis. So first of all, I'd just like to do a quick demonstration with all of you. So I'm going to ask you to hold hands. Okay. So if you can reach everybody from where you're at, whoever's closest to me. Just no, you can stay set. Okay, and what I'm going to ask for you to do in a moment, I'm going to ask you to touch that silver.
Okay. The silver circle?
That silver bar.
Okay.
Woo! Can you get it?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to touch it and hold it now. And Lorenzo, would you drop hands with one person? And now regain?
Got rid of me in a hurry.
Okay.
Wow. Is that interesting?
Go ahead and drop hands with somebody. Okay, and regain. Okay.
What the?
So what the?
Just one magic button there.
Oh, see, all right, so what we were just doing is we were playing with a very basic science experiment ball, okay? What we just did was we held hands, and the person to my right and I, we each touched these silver electrodes. So what we just did was we created a circuit.
So you
can
touched
do it
the
by-
circuit. You touched it when I touched it.
I touched it, and then you
Always,
touched it.
and then I touched it.
Okay,
Alright.
and it went through
Yes.
all of us, but we have to hold hands.
Okay, got it.
Oops, wait, well,
Sure.
it doesn't matter how many you hold in.
Yes.
So
okay,
that's a smaller
okay.
circuit. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So the point is that we're energy,
Uh-huh.
and we can conduct energy. Okay, that's the first basic thing to understand. Is energy moves. It can move physically with concrete, but the crazy wild part is it's actually around us and moving through us and being brought into our bodies at the same time. So this gives us a concrete view of it, that we can create a circuit. But that's just getting us started, okay? Okay. Next thing I want you to think about is this equation. Intention, which is your mindset you bring to the day. What your beliefs are every day. What's real, what's valid, what's silly, what's not possible. That's your mindset going into things. That's your intention. Add to that your attention. What do you choose to focus on? Now our body.
Exactly.
Exactly. There are basic five senses, right? Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. All right. Hearing, sound. Okay. And that's how we take information into our body. Okay. That's the sense of sense. Your sensation gets, once it comes into your body, it gets changed into electrical current, which goes to your brain and then gets registered and made sense of. In psychology, we call that perception. How you choose to make sense of what you're experiencing is your reality.
So it's always a conscious decision?
Conscious and
Subconscious?
subconscious, yeah.
Okay.
Because your brain's making zillions of decisions
Right.
split second.
Right.
And it's deciding what you want to pay attention to, what you don't want to pay attention to. And that's built on your preset. Okay? So the back of your brain is your survival. It knows it's registering, am I too hot, am I too cold, am I going to pass out, am I thirsty, do I need to eat, all that survival stuff. But then as it comes forward and develops your advanced brain, that's where you get to make more decisions as well and decide, I always want to pay attention to things that
Go boom.
Go boom. I always want to pay attention to things that have clowns in them because I'm freaked out by clowns, and I want to be on alert for that. Okay? So your intention ahead of time plus your attention creates your reality. You can control this. By controlling this, that changes this.
We call that resistance, or
lack of resistance, yeah. Okay? So this is why, if we're thinking about this normally, somebody who's colorblind, they have a different sensation there. Reality might look different to them. Somebody has different hearing or has constant ring in their ears, they might not hear the same pitch or hear songs the same way. Their reality might be different from the person next to them. Okay? But based on this part also, that totally limits what some people will get in life and how they're going to live based on. All right? So if you've known nothing about energy to begin with, I'm going to ask you to consider the things that I'm saying to you today. You'll walk away and you'll know what rings true to you, what you're ready to accept, what you're not. And that's totally okay. I'm not here to sell you on the fact that energy exists. My reality is it definitely exists. It can be manipulated. It can help heal people. It can help you feel better, all these different things. Okay? Some people, it's too much, and they're like, no, not. All right? Okay, so that's the first thing. What do you want your reality to be? Okay. I said that Western medicine and scientists have started catching up with us. Right? They've actually created a new subdomain of psychology for energy psychology. They just did that in 2002. All right? So that means there's a whole bunch of psychologists who are studying this and how energy affects people.
I just want to back up a second.
Mm-hmm.
You said this equation, blah, blah, blah. So is it possible that you can decide what you want as a reality and then work backwards and change the sensations and your mindsets?
Yep. They've actually...
So
There's
it's like a mathematical equation.
excellent book. I can't get there's a glare there. Healing Words, Power of Prayer, Practice in Medicine. It's not just prayer, but it's actually energy research this guy did as well. They've done studies where they have injected cells, didn't tell the subjects, didn't tell anybody, did double blind, all this stuff. So one person knew what the status of the cells were. Put it in a locked storage. Okay? At that point, the cell status should be predetermined, right? Should be what they did to those cells, the bacteria or whatever they were working with. Then they brought in energy workers. Didn't tell them anything about the cells, just told them, send them positive energy, healing energy. And did it to two groups. You had the control group and you had the ones that had been tampered with. Not knowing anything about it, any constraints, they changed the course of the cells. It should have been predetermined. They've done the same thing with changing blood molecules. I've worked on a lady with cancer. We changed her hemoglobin. We changed her white blood cell count. The nurse, when she went in low, she couldn't get her treatment. So she came to see me the next day. They retested her the following Monday, and the nurses said, "What the heck did you do?" Her recovery had increased so much in such a short period of time, they'd never seen that. And she had sent me her numbers, and she said, "Well, I went to see Michelle. Still energy work." So they're also, we know you've heard the word placebo before, okay, where the doctors will give sugar pills and tell the patients, "Hey, this works, take it." Nothing remarkable, but then it works, right? There's also a term for the opposite. They give them fake pills, or they give them real pills, tell them it's experimental, it probably won't work, even though they're valid treatments, and it doesn't work. What's your mindset? Your mindset is it's way more powerful than anybody recently, up until now, realized. You really can change. You really can change the past, you can change your body, and there's some work that says you can change the future as well by what you send that way. I don't want to get all metaphysical, but that's a whole different workshop, but there are different things. So the power of thought, power of intention, and how you choose to use your body during the day, what you choose to do with it. Okay, good question. So So they did set up an international society for the study of subtle energy and energy medicine. They have their own journal, Subtle Energies. And I mentioned some of the research already that's been going on, but the research has been going on since the 1940s. Okay? It's just the problem the average person doesn't see it in the average newspapers because Big Pharma doesn't want you to know this. Okay? And imagine if suddenly people didn't have to go to the doctor anymore. Okay, so we're really looking at, if you look at the, it's not always just the bigger cities, but there's a lot of, whenever you start seeing healing centers, they're starting to work in holistic nurses, naturopathic doctors. So people with degrees and the medicine side who are now realizing, oh, we're missing this whole other side, which could help people get better faster and stay healthier longer. Okay, so there's this great amount of research out there, but it's just, now it's starting to finally get validity over here. Europe, it's been going on for years. Asian cultures, thousands of years. Okay, India, thousands of years. We're just finally getting on board. Finally. Okay, so what is energy? While you're out and about, you might hear any of these terms being referred to as energy. Prana, ki, chi, breath, spirit, or even organ. Have you heard of any of those before?
Chi, spirit, breath, sort of. Yeah, I don't know about prana or organ.
Okay. So, spirit, when I first looked at that, made me think, oh, are we talking like Holy Spirit? What are we talking about?
Which helps.
Which helps. So, some people explain energy and spirituality as that they're kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, most of the time, unless I know a client's background, I'm not going to start talking about spirituality with what faith background there are or who to worship or anything like that. And it's not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's for them to be a specific religious background.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But understanding that energy movement has kind of a consciousness, has a purpose, that helps to understand it. You don't have to think of it as a deity or a god kind of deal. Energy just is, okay, constantly. Some people refer to it as a breath because early healers, there was this concept, and even some of your religious texts, it talks about verses saying it started with the word. Well, the word was a breath, it was a release. So there's that concept of energy creating. Where and how does it exist? It's everywhere. It's in the air around you. It's in the earth. Goes through us, permeates it. Physicists now say there's no such thing as solids. It used to be in science class, your solids, liquids, and gas, right? Now they say if you keep going, you can zoom all the way through. So there really is no such concept as a solid. So that's why it makes sense, and I'm glad that they finally came up with that, because energy can travel through anything. Everything is porous to some extent, so it can flow through it. Okay? So, for instance, my mom's sitting there. If she had a shoulder ache, I wouldn't have to have her take her shirt off. I could just lay my hand on her shoulder and send her energy and relieve the pain. Okay? Same concept. If we wanted to connect to the earth energy, you look down and say, oh, we got tile floor and probably concrete underneath that. They have to go outside in the grass. No, that's a falsehood that some people say. You can connect easier outside in the grass, a little quicker. But again, it's not solid, so your energy will go through that. The earth energy comes up through it. Okay, so the other side, and this is a little harder sometimes for people to understand, is there doesn't have to be the physical connection, like we touched with the ball to make the conduit. As I explain how the human energy system works for you, you're going to see that we're all connected. Everything is connected continuously based on our system, which means that's how I can be here in Michigan and I can work on somebody in Turkey or Iraq or India, California, all places I've worked on people doing long distance energy work. Because it goes back to...
So you have done that? Oh,
a former student who had a migraine. She was in she was posted a response. I don't remember if she said she was in Florida or she was somewhere in the down south states. She posted on Facebook, my head is killing me. It's been 3 days. It's not going away. So I just messaged her, hey, you want to try something? She said, yeah, it's anything. I said, okay, go lay down. I'll text you in 20 minutes. She said, what the heck did you do? My headache is gone. I feel awesome. I just used energy techniques that I had learned and trained to remove the pain, balance her system. She was good. So physicality is an illusion. And that's a big mind blower for a lot of people, but also one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. So, okay, so it's everywhere. Orgone, if you're wanting to see the energy in the air, this is typically what we call it when we see it in the air. The easiest way, we're not going to run back and forth within the hour. If you want a longer thing, we can set up another workshop. But next time you're out, have the sun to your back, find a row of trees, look just above the trees. Okay? Try to relax a little bit, but you're going to see they're going to look like circles, translucent circles, hanging out above the tree. Okay? If you don't see that, just go to, again, don't look directly in the sun. That's a bad idea. Always a bad idea.
You will see circles.
Yeah. Okay. Especially on the upcoming eclipse, right? We got an eclipse coming. Just look at it. If you got a patch of blue sky, just look at the blue sky. And same thing, it'll be translucent circles, and they'll all move in different spots. It's not like the floaters we get in our eyes. Sometimes they're dark spots, move and we kind of follow them. These are actually circles that you can see through. You'll see enough of a gray outline on it, and they'll be all like this.
Is that impacted by spectacles?
Not that I've heard of. So you'll have to try and see and let me know. So I've seen it outside before. I've had other people successfully see it outside. I actually was in my classroom one day and just seated, and I turned my head and I saw it inside the classroom. And it's the first time I've ever seen it inside a building before. Same thing. It looks exactly the same thing. So clear, translucent circles, just moving at these random patterns.
So does it follow people, or
It's just
is
all
it
around
just
us constantly.
always there?
It's always there.
Thought maybe you attracted it.
Yeah, no, that would be something different. That's another workshop. That's another workshop. Okay, so that's your orgone in the air. The earth has power centers. Okay, it has a system just like we do. Okay, so they have what's called chakras. Most of these are really, really famous old volcanoes and mountains across the world. So the red ones are what are considered some of the chakras of the earth. Okay, you've heard of meridians or ley lines maybe perhaps. Ley lines typically this started with British literature and tales about King Arthur and the Druids around the Stonehenge, things like that. So these supposed powerful lines across the earth where healing would take place. And people would suddenly walk across and they'd feel lightheaded and they'd feel different. These are actual lines of energy in the earth that are very, very powerful, electromagnetic lines. Okay? So there's this grid that goes across the whole earth of these types of lines. And there's an electromagnetic field around the whole earth. Okay? So we've got those three basic parts. Now what's cool about this is that up until just these last few years, they usually registered or tracked research this frequency when lightning bolts were hitting. That's when the scientists would check to see what was going on. And it usually registered at 7.83 hertz. That was the frequency that the Earth's electromagnetic field stayed at. That's been changing and increasing rapidly now. 2017, it was at over 36 hertz. Okay. Now, two different ways we can look at this. 7.83 hertz is also the level of what the actual human brain is. So the Earth and the human brain were synced for hundreds and thousands of years. Whatever this level was, that's what our brain frequency was. Okay. Now this was sped up. So for some people, if their brain hasn't sped up at the same pace, this is causing problems. They might have more headaches. They might hear buzzing. They might feel off. They might feel a little more emotional than they usually have. Other people who are speeding up at the same are having different experiences. They are having higher sense of perception. They're being able to see things that other people aren't necessarily seeing. They're more at peace. They're feeling more connected with everything. They're feeling stronger. They're feeling more energetic, but calm at the same time. So it's this weird phenomenon, and nobody's quite sure which happened first, if the human race's brain are speeding up, or if this is speeding up first. But we know that from history, we need to be the same to be the best that we can be. Okay? So interesting thing going on right now. And that's called the Schumann resonance.
So what do you mean by the best when you say to be the best?
Healthiest?
Healthiest.
Overall healthiest. Yeah. Okay. Something else kind of interesting about Earth energy is even though because of the electromagnetic field, there's a basic frequency over the whole planet, energy frequency. Your location, where you were born at, where you spent majority of your time, that has a certain energetic feel to you. When you start traveling, and if you travel a lot, you're going to come to some places that feel totally at home and totally comfortable for you. Part of that's the energy at that location. You're also bound eventually to come to a spot where you feel sick and you might actually develop migraines or start being nauseous because their energy is different from your body energy and you need to balance, otherwise you're going to stay sick while you're in that city or in that location. So had a friend who went to Italy and she had that experience, and so she texted me, Michelle, you got to work on me right now. And got through that, and she was calm. I know I had that same experience when I went to Spain. The last 2 times I went, I got horribly, just randomly nauseous and migraines, and I had to do everything I could to try to balance and clear. Okay, so that takes us to the human energy system. Doing okay? Questions? Okay. All right, components of the human energy system. So, similar to the Earth system, we have a biofield, the bubble that's around us. We have power centers, chakras, up our main core and throughout the whole body. And we have meridians. We have pathways. You can think of them as highways, you can think of them as rivers. And those are what move the energy. Okay? So biofield around it. Chakras draw the energy in. They feed the meridians, which disperse it through the whole system. Okay? So everybody say this word. Biofield.
Biofield.
Chakra. Okay. And then meridian. Okay. I'm not scary words. Okay. Some people will talk about aura. Typically the people who talk about seeing auras, they're the ones who give everybody this is all frou-frou stuff. Okay. It's all the same. Biofield and aura. Okay. Typically the people talking about auras are the ones who are seeing colors, visually can see colors around the body, and they're trying to read the imbalance. Okay? The rest of us who aren't worried about doing that, we just assess the health of the biofield, the shape of it, the health of it, and then balance it. Okay? So let's go a little more in depth. So I like this diagram because it actually shows you the meridians. So those are the black lines. It can be more complicated. The acupuncture doctors, some of those show a lot more of the grids, right? So the whole body basically of lines. And the dots, I know it's kind of hard to see from your seat, but those are acupuncture points or acupressure points. So someone who deals with acupuncture, acupressure, they focus on these spots, find particular points, will put pressure with a seed or with a pin in there to remove blocks in those energy pathways so that the energy can move to the organs and the systems and clear. Okay, so they deal with the meridians. They generally don't deal with the biofield or with the actual chakras, just the rivers of the energy going through. Okay. Good? Okay. So we're going to break that down. Biofield layers. I'm looking, I'm like, man, he's looking like an alien. What do I do? And then I drew the hand wrong. I'm like, they'll forgive me. So start with the biofield.
He's beautiful.
Yeah. Sorry, little guy. Okay. Okay. So bioffield is electromagnetic field. All right. There's a science law. It's called Maxwell's law that says wherever there's electrical current, there's a corresponding electromagnetic field or bubble. All right. Hospitals typically use EKG, which measures electrical current of the heart, EEG, which measures electrical current of the brain, and an EMG, which measures the electrical current of your muscles. So those three tests just alone prove there is a biofield around your heart. It's generated from your heart, your brain, and all your muscles. So that means right there, that's three bubbles that we're walking around in. Okay, 3 layers. People who study the energy and the different scripts from hundreds of years say there's at minimum first 7 for the people who are working on trying to do self-care for your energy system. There's 7 layers that you deal with. And that's typically, there's more above, but these are the main 7, okay? Each layer corresponds with one of the chakras, the power centers, all right? I don't want you to worry too much about the names of the fields, but what I do want you to learn about biofields is that it's similar to muscle memory and cell memory, okay? Your cells have memory. Your muscles have memory. When you start working out, you do the same workout every day for a while, you hit a plateau at some point because you're like, oh yeah, I know what we're doing. This is no big deal. It's what we got. Okay, and that's why you have to mix it up a little to get their attention and to change things for them. Otherwise, they presume they know what's going on. You actually can store out here memory as well. You store physical pain, trauma, stress, positive things as well. Again, I know it sounds weird to think that over here on my right shoulder, I could be storing my childhood memories, but it's there. I've worked on clients where you can actually feel geometric chunks in their field, like a square, hard. You can feel it. And we have to work to break that up, release it. Sometimes disease starts out here and then comes into the body. Sometimes disease will manifest in the body because maybe a chakra is compromised or the meridian is compromised and can't feed that area of the body. So it sometimes starts here and then will also extend out into the field and have little pockets of that there as well. Your field also can change. A healthy field is kind of like we're walking around in an egg shape. That's a healthy shape, okay? People with different mental diseases, mental health issues, this could be jagged instead of smooth. They might have leaks where it's open, it's frayed. They might have it totally shifted to the side. Because in some things like schizophrenia or with dissociative multiple personalities, they're not in the brain. They're literally beside themselves. And so their field compensates and totally shifts. It's got this empty thing it's protecting over here because it's a different type of being, a different type of feeling. They don't feel like they're in themselves. They're not grounded. So this needs to be taken care of and cleared. People with PTSD, this is where a lot of things are stored. Because with PTSD, things aren't stored. The experience isn't stored in one spot in the brain. It's stored in several, and the connections aren't connected anymore. That's why they're confused about why they're reacting when they do. Because it's not always a logical thing they react to. So it's yes, it's in the brain as far as a disjointed connection, but it's also out here trying to store and make sense of things for us as well. And we have to decide what do we want to keep, what do we not want to keep. Otherwise, we keep all of it. Okay.
That's why people commit suicide.
So, good question. The sacred geometry workshop that I went to last spring, we were talking about this because one of my friends was having mental health issues. And because of that situation, it was over here and also had leaks. If we hadn't reintegrated him back in, he would have committed suicide. She said, rarely does anybody survive long-term out of it like this. So yeah, it can be very scary. They don't know that their field is screwed up. Their body and their brain has just done what it can to try to just keep going, even if it's an unhealthy path. It's like when we look at our daily lives, how many of us know we're doing something that's probably not the healthiest for us? You know, how often do we go to McDonald's, which may not be the healthiest for us, you know, just because we're something at a time. We've been doing great for so long, and then suddenly I don't have time, I gotta go get something. And I did that last week, and boy, did I feel it immediately. I was like, oh, that was a really, really bad decision.
So did that person have to be complicit in the reorientation? Or could that person have been anonymous, you know, not know what was going on and everybody else could have fixed them?
Excellent question. So with the way I've been trained and what I feel is most respectful in energy work is I always ask permission. Hey, I know so-and-so, you may not know much about this, it's a little bit what I do. Is it okay if I check your energy system in your field to see if maybe it's off or imbalanced, and then we can try to balance it? It might make you feel better. Are you okay with that?
Well, notwithstanding your predilection, could that be ignored and it still have worked?
Yes. The question is the duration of it staying.
Okay.
If it's not a conscious choice or decision.
Mm-hmm.
Now the reverse is if somebody's adamant they don't want someone to work in their energy system, they will block you. Just by deciding, nope, you're not going to have any effect on them, or at least nothing significant whatsoever. So,
Well, I hate to say it, but I have a political bent to that question. Like, why can't we fix what's going on just by thinking about it?
What's going on?
are we talking politically?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a belief that with united minds, with a united focus,
Yeah.
you can start making shifts. You may not see it like that because the intricacies of how you have to affect someone's mind, total system, to get them to change their intention and attention takes a little time sometimes.
Sure.
But if you watch the news, there are other countries who they take days and they have thousands of people gather to pray and meditate for a singular specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that because that affects the overall energy flow for the thing that's going on.
Was sort of the same thing with the
Universal
answer
prayer.
walks and all those things? They knew there was something.
Yep. And again, a whole other workshop.
Yeah.
But when you
right.
think about when
But
somebody,
this is fascinating to me. You haven't explained it in such detail. I mean, I always believed in that sort of aura or something, but I never really looked into it like this. So it's
reality is way cooler than I knew growing up.
right.
No offense to my mom. No offense, Mom. It was a great childhood. But can you imagine if I knew I could affect my sister's energy? Like, oh, I don't like that. Let's fix that.
Oh, gosh.
So yes. Okay. So we got
Well,
the
that's the
biofield.
power of prayer, right? Same thing.
Same thing.
So, essentially, maybe.
Because prayer is energy. It's your thought
Right.
and your heart intention and what are you sending. When you think about the amount of people who gather, large masses at particular funerals,
Mm-hmm.
masses of people, all praying or praying ahead of time when that person is ill and then when they pass. Getting off track. It's okay if I'm off track for 1 minute?
Sorry, I dragged you there.
We can't tell.
You can, okay. So, different workshop.
Okay.
Dream communication and communication with spirit after it's passed on. The people who had more people praying or sending positive thoughts, even if they didn't believe in prayer, but just sending positive energy to that person's spirit, they transition quicker and can make communication visits back to the people who are still alive faster than it takes the average person. So when they show up in dreams, when they start, people who talk about getting scents, smells, familiar smells that person who's passed on, actually feeling a touch or a punch or a tickle, and no one else is around, those communication things, that's how those are possible. It's because that person is at a higher energy frequency now, so they can visit briefly. So, Okay, back to the basics. So, biofield, bubbles. Each 7 bubble corresponds to a chakra. Important things we can store out there. We need to balance it, clear it. Okay? So then the chakra. All right? Chakra in Sanskrit means spinning wheel. Okay? But in some of the cultures, the lotus flower is what they associate or depict the chakra as. And if you look at it, this is a lotus flower. If you look at the center there and the dots there, and the people who have drawn the chakras, that's what it looks like. So there's this fan or this cup around the outside of it. There's this filter over the top that develops in the first 7 years of life. By the way, some cultures don't take their children out for the first 7 years because this is still developing. And if they take the child out before that, then they're getting inundated. Like if you go to faster horses and there's all that loud noise constant. Can you imagine if that's what a child is experiencing, a newborn?
You don't even have to go here.
Right.
Backyard.
Yep, we were 5 miles from there. It was just shaking my windows. I'm like, okay, take that art piece down. So the chakra is spins to draw energy into your system. It connects to your endocrine system and your central nervous system. Feeds the meridian system, which then is that river which runs it through the rest of your body. Okay, 3 parts to it.
Is the central.
So that's the one that has all the lines up and down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your chakras are the circles
Right.
here. They feed the meridian system, but also a couple of our normal biological systems.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So has 3 different filter systems, so different things can get stuck in here. It's also the more stress or physical, emotional, whatever, your chakra can start closing up. It can actually stop rotating, be still. So compromised or still, not helpful to our system because then it's not feeding that location of your body. Okay? So we want to keep our chakras open and spinning appropriately and balanced.
Can one become self-aware of the condition of a chakra?
You can. You can. You can actually become aware of just about anything in your body. The people who have had, in my experiences, who wake up in the morning before you start moving, you run that diagnostic, you kind of scan your body and say, what hurts this morning? You know? You've got a head start on that because you already know what certain parts of your body feel like. A lot of people don't do that. They don't pay any attention until it's like a massive pain. They're like, oh, I don't know what happened. Well, if you'd been paying attention earlier, you would have figured it out. So, yes, it takes a lot of focus, but once you feel it, you will know, okay? There's a technique to actually increase your vibration and align your chakras so they spin faster. I do that before I do an energy session on people because, as you're going to find out, that with energy, there's just a basic property that says whenever 2 people are near each other or even non-humans and we're near an electrical source, whatever is the strongest or highest vibration frequency, the other one will mimic it. So it could be a low frequency but really strong, that'll bring our whole system down. Okay? So when I'm working with somebody, I need to make sure that I'm higher and stronger. So there's a technique that you do which actually spins all your chakras really, really fast. It's called chelation. And I can actually feel my chakras start spinning. Weird, but kind of fun. Like, oh, weird. And you can feel them individually connect. Okay. So,
Oh my goodness. It's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, I believe you, but it's unbelievable.
How about fascinating?
Yes, fascinating. Very good.
yeah. So, as far as checking the condition, there's ways you can do that as well. We're going to talk about that in about, oh man, time's going fast, in about 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, so chakra, second part. So, bubble, your biofield, your chakras, and meridians. Those are your 3 parts. Same as the Earth has, you have them as well. That's your basic human energy system, okay? Okay, so what's healthy? If we're talking about the energy system, we want your biofield clear or just holding positive, helpful things. We want your chakras open and spinning. want your meridians clear, no blocks there, so the energy can get distributed to wherever it needs to go. They came up with a way to actually check our, oh, I didn't teach you your chakras. Okay, real quick, you need to know this. Okay, I'm going to teach you these 7 chakras. All right? So the first one kind of sits in front of your pelvis, and the funnel is facing down. Okay? Take your thumb right now, put it in your belly button, and drop your hand. Okay? This is second chakra. This is your sacral chakra. Okay? Now switch your thumb with your pinky. Put your pinky in your belly button. Okay, move your hand up. This is your solar plexus. Okay. And it's not like right on top, it's like in the middle there. Okay, but in front of your spine is where these are. Your heart chakra. Okay. Throat chakra is like between here and here. Okay. Brow chakra. People talk about third eye, they're talking about the spot right here. But the chakra is typically referred to as the brow chakra. And your crown chakra, that generally is up here, and it focuses up. So you got the root chakra down, crown chakra up. Okay, those are the 7 major chakras. There are over 80,000 chakras in the body. Every joint has one. Okay, lots of other ones, other secondary ones, high heart, spleen, all sorts of chakras. Okay, but when people talk about chakras, typically they mean the main 7. These correspond to different health things in those areas. Okay, so if you're thinking about, do you have a chronic sore neck or chronic laryngitis, I mean, something's going on with the things related to that chakra. And if we deal with those social, emotional, spiritual issues, that might be what's hindering this more than just a random virus. Okay, okay, so there's a, oh, I didn't tell you the fun facts. The meridians have been proven with radioactive dye and blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So Bruce Tenino of Tenino Technology in the United States came up with a machine that actually can register the frequency of basically anything. Food, people, organs, all that stuff. That was based off what was originally called the Rife machine, which was made in the 1920s. Okay. So they registered that the human brain, a healthy human brain, ranges from 72 to 90 megahertz. Okay. Human body, a healthy, 62 to 68. You catch a cold when your body drops to 58. That's the start of a problem when your body is off. Okay. Flu at 57, Candida at 55, Epstein-Barr 52, cancer at 42, onset of death at 25 megahertz. They checked food, fresh produce registers up to 15 megahertz, dry herbs 12 to 22, fresh herbs 20 to 27, and essential oils ranging between 52 and 320 megahertz because they're distilled, so the herbs distilled. Okay, so what does this tell us? Processed canned food has zero benefit to us as far as live energy. So if we're down, if we know we've been ill with the stuff going on, get rid of the canned food. Don't be doing that. You need fresh food. You need to be supplementing with essential oils or fresh herbs as often as possible. Because you got to get that vibration back up because, just like they say, what cancer can't survive with oxygenated blood, it can't survive when your energy frequency is really, really high. Okay? So, what do? We have to start looking at how to keep our energy frequency as high as possible in addition to our energy system clear so it can keep doing its job, feeding everything. Okay. So what causes an unbalanced energy system? Okay. Your biofield disintegrates because of stress, because of unhealthy coping mechanisms, constant attack from unhealthy relationships or work struggles or poor nutrition, that constant trauma. Compromised, closing up chakras, meridians clogging up because of bad choices, unhealthy choices. So chronic stress, unhealthy beliefs, off your life purpose path, an imbalance of your nutrition, sleep, touch, water. I say touch. They did a great study in California. They had 2 groups, again, a control group and their experimental group. The experimental group got 7 positive touches a day for set amount of time. So whether it was a high five, knuckle bump, nice hug, pat on the back, whatever, the other group didn't get any extra hugs for the day. And no extra touches. The group that had the 7 positive touches a day recovered from whatever the illness was that they were watching quicker, and they remained healthier 3 months longer than the control group. That's just the power of touch. Babies and infants that are massaged, there's one of the island cultures that vigorously massage the kids' legs, the babies, and they walk 2 months earlier than most other children. Walk sooner, 2 months earlier. So that concept of physical touch for our skin, which is the largest organ, all that helps as well. Another cause, electromagnetic frequencies, EMF. May have heard about EMF. So anytime we have computers, Wi-Fi, power lines, great book, The Body Electric. If you don't mind sciencey stuff, this is a phenomenal book. This man did a whole bunch of research about how energy and electricity promotes healing, as well as the dangers of, he was one of the big ones who started researching the effects of the power lines over people's homes and the cancer cells that start happening and all that stuff. Yeah, we don't hear about it now, but it's not because it's not true, it's because nobody wants to hear about that, because
Military use
they're
that
everywhere.
as a weapon.
Yes, and he talks about that in here. Yeah. Unresolved physical, emotional trauma, all that stuff can hamper our system, okay? Okay, so how do you know if you're in trouble before it gets too late? So we talked about some of this before, so how your field changes, uneven flow. So how do you know? You might start having subtle changes. Okay, this isn't connected yet. You might notice a change in your dreams. If you're an active dreamer, the content of your dreams might change. So don't disregard those, okay? Your energy level, you'll start to feel more lethargic, or you might actually feel heavier or weighted down, like it's harder just to move. Random pains, the small ones. Pay attention to what part of the body those are showing up in, because that is typically related to that area of your energy system as well. Eventually, if we don't pay attention to the subtle signs, then we start developing the physical, actual full diseases. Most people today actually have compromised energy systems. We have technology exposure, overexposure. We sit at our computers, which, for long periods of time, we just sit as a culture more than we ever did. And that actually decreases our flow of our lymphatic system, as well as our energy system. Just things can't move like they're supposed to. Our food is much harder to get whole, non-GMO, untainted food. It's harder to do that. We don't spend as much time in nature. Okay, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Even sleep patterns. We have more light at night than we've ever been used to, which throws off our circadian cycle, our sleep and wake cycle. So if you have a phone, my suggestion to you is put it face down and as far away from you as you feel comfortable with, because every time you get a message, that light's going on, that little tiny blue light on your phone, your brain is picking that up, believe it or not. Okay? If you have yard lights, your brain still picks that up. So that is technically throwing off how deep in the quality of sleep you could actually be getting. We know sleep is necessary for long-term memory, for new memory retention. We know it's also necessary during sleep is when we do our cell regeneration, all these different things. So the more we can increase the quality of our sleep, that helps our whole body as well. A lot of people also just are dealing with more stress and they're busy, more busy than ever. I know so many families now that their children are in sports 7 days a week. And so their family is running them 7 days a week. They don't have downtime. They don't know what to do with downtime. And the kids now, and I see this in high school, they're uncomfortable. You ask them to sit still and not talk and not be on their phone and just be, they can't do that. They're like, this is driving me crazy. It's because that's how they train themselves to be. And it's totally working against their system. It's fun. We like distraction. But we're actually complicating life for us. Okay, we're training ourselves to be certain ways. And so all that lack of being able to be okay with ourselves, have downtime. Some of the research says we need 15 minutes of awake but not busy time a day to help our body reset.
That's all?
At minimum, 15 minutes. No TV,
That's
not
amazing.
reading, not making a to-do list.
Right.
Actual still and not doing that, but you have to be awake. They need that as well. And so a lot of people with all these different things are going on, they're also finding less of a sense of connection to a purpose or to community or to even anything beyond universal. So all those things complicate and are affecting your system. Physical, mental, and emotional, the whole energy system. Okay. So what can you do about it? Go back to the first thing, set your intention. What's going to be your new preset? And I believe my energy system is vital to my health. I want to be healthier. I can be healthier. One of the things I see with chronic disease, some people buy into the concept that I have lupus, or I have Crohn's disease, or I have fibromyalgia. It must be God's plan for me to suffer my entire life. I'll do my best I can. So my discussion with them is, okay, so what have you learned carrying this heavy burden? Well, I've learned I have to be more patient. It's okay to be vulnerable. I've learned that it's okay to ask people for help, because if I let them help me, they're actually giving instead of me always giving, and that gives them peace. And they go through this whole list. I'm like, great. I said, you learned quite a bit. Do you need to keep carrying the cross? Do you need to keep feeling the disease, or did you get enough? Think about that for a minute. I had lupus for 15 years, with all the variety of bad stuff that comes with it. I was up to 12 pills a day, and I wasn't getting any better. And I had the lead lupus doctor in the United States and internationally recognized. God bless him. We're Bowtie. Awesome guy. But I wasn't getting better. So I quit all the pills. Took some basic vitamins. Changed some of my diet. Started doing energy work. Went back to see him. Kept going to see him. Getting better, getting better. And at a 20-year mark, I said, Doc, I love you, but I feel like you're taking my money for nothing. He laughed, and he said, Michelle, he said, you're the 1%. We never tell people that this is possible, because you don't have lupus. When people are told they have lupus, they're told they have it for life and that you never get over it. I'm not special. I just knew it wasn't getting better. It wasn't working. And I wasn't ready to live with the life sentence. Your body is amazing. Do not discount it. Having disease is not the end of the world. Disease teaches us many, many things. And yes, our body gets to a point where we can be so sick because we're out of balance for whatever the reason, that we need Western medicine and we need a variety of things to help us start getting back in balance. But I hope that in learning a little bit about the energy system, you start realizing there are things you do have power over. You can impact. And it could, in your case, start healing you to the point where you take a couple vitamins a day and you feel a whole lot better than you ever have in your life. Okay? It's not voodoo. It's not power prayer. I wouldn't discount power prayer. It takes looking at your whole life, your whole beliefs, everything. But it is possible. There's over 3,000 documented of instantaneous cures that they cannot account for. But the medical community said this person definitely had this disease. It was non-reversible. And then without Western medical intervention, it changed and this person is cured. It doesn't exist anymore. It happens. It happens around the world. It happens in the United States. Okay? So life is cooler than we ever knew it was. Okay? So don't give up on that thought. Pay attention to your body. As soon as you start having any thoughts, any feelings, start registering, keeping track of those things. Okay? And start looking at what is this possibly related to? Do I have an imbalance I need to balance? Start there. Okay? then what do? You change your actions. I like these pictures just to show that even our major religions from around the world, most of them don't talk about it, but all of them, if you go through if you dig in through the different things, they're all energy based. They all recognize things that they do are for energy. Hindu prayer form. Think that just a little bit, because they believe that energy, divine energy, universal energy, comes in through the focus points comes into your brow chakra. The rest continues down, comes into your chest for your heart chakra, which is the strongest chakra. They register the biofield 10 feet in diameter for a healthy heart. Okay, so if I'm standing here and every square is a foot, right? 1, 2, so about that far, just in one direction. If your heart is really healthy, all of you would be in my heart chakra field, that biofield, which means you're getting ripple waves of what I'm feeling and how the condition of my waves. Okay, I've been in the movie theater or gas station or grocery store and you suddenly felt uncomfortable, a little off. Look around and see who just walked into your field, because you're feeling their field, the condition of it. Okay, really subtle, but you can start feeling these things. Okay, so Hindu prayer, Islam. They pray 5 times a day, the specific prayer forms. My one friend, he told me, he's the one who mentioned it, I went and researched it. When they put their hands on the side and they put their forehead to the ground, that's because they're receiving and balancing from earth energy. This is what they're doing. Okay? Now, yes, there's a prayer form that goes with that in different spots, and it makes sense. But if you look at Catholic ordination, the nuns and the priests-to-be, they totally prostrate themselves, hands down, forehead down, as part of the process to continue purification as each step along the way. The ancient religions have been doing this forever. They're just not telling their people why they're doing it. Yeah. Okay, so.
Do you think they know why they're doing it?
Oh, yeah.
They just don't talk about it. Okay.
I don't know if all the current priests know, but the ones, probably Vatican, they probably know.
Probably knows, right.
Somebody knows. It's in one of those texts. Okay. If I can find this on the internet today, somebody knows. Okay. But can you imagine going into your church service and saying, so today we're going to talk about energy. Some of you can see it, some of you can't. They'd be like, what are you even smoking back there in the vestibule? So, okay. I do want to be respectful of your time. It is 7 o'clock, but we just have a little bit about what you can do. Are you willing to stay another 5?
Sure.
Okay, so what can you do? Forest bathing. Forest bathing. The Japanese have started testing, it's called Shinrin Yoku, which means actually going to spend time in a forest. Here's the big thing. We don't have a whole lot of forest we can go walk through unless you're going to go or some of these natural parks, things like that. My suggestion to you, if you have a backyard and you have a big tree, go stand next to whatever tree you find interesting and seems to be calling to you. Trees have energy fields and biofields just like we do. All of your animals have chakras, biofields just like we do. So you go find the biggest, nice animal. If you got a horse, go hang out by your horse. But otherwise, I would strongly recommend a tree. Trees are stable. The older the tree, the better. Okay? You don't have to be hugging it. Okay? You can
This
just
is really creepy.
take a chair.
My girlfriends and I in high school had a favorite tree out in the country outside of Marshall, Michigan. We did. That is so funny.
You should go visit that tree.
We were just drawn to it.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's another workshop. So wherever you're at, find a tree that you feel drawn to. You can talk to it. One of the things I do with is teach people plant interaction. A lot of cool research with plants. But find a big tree. You can either, put a blanket down, sit with the tree, sit near a chair if you can't get down on the ground. Say hi, how you doing? I'd like to bond, and if you're willing to chat. Otherwise, just sit and just do. Thank you for being here, and just sit near the tree because you will be in the tree's biofield. And remember, whatever's strongest or highest, the weaker one will gravitate and raise the frequency to that. Okay, become that. So the tree most likely will be stronger than you if you're off balance. So just spend some time, 10, 15 minutes near that tree a couple times a week. That will start balancing your field in general. Okay. If you live near an ocean, you hear a lot of people who, when they are trying to get healed and they don't want to take a whole lot of pills, they'll go be in the ocean for the salt water. That's starting to detox as much as possible and actually helps cleanse your biofield as well. Frequently taking showers, doesn't matter if it's hot or cold, but if you've had a hard day, if you've had an emotional day or whatever, let the water clear. That actually will trickle through and help with your field. Okay. Learning self-chakra alignment. There's different ones out there where you can actually balance your frequency. We talked about choosing healthier nutrition-wise and essential oils. There are essential oil blends. I use Beyond. There are one, he did an actual blend, the chemist who founded it, created a blend for each one of the chakras to align with the frequency it's supposed to be at for its healthiest. Okay, so if you want to smell any of those, I've got those open. You can order online. Work on resolving stress proactively. And this doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be like that. Stress and how we react is just monitoring our negative thought patterns, monitoring when we feel helpless or hopeless. You never are. And that's one of the things I work with my clients is understanding is no matter what the situation is you're in or what is going on around you, your choice and how you view it is ultimately the most important thing. That will make the difference between you getting sicker, your vibration going down farther, or learning how to handle it and still be calm in the middle of the storm. Life has changed. I finally learned that after years and years and years. Life is just constant change. But you do have control over you. You're inside you. And that intention and attention will affect so much else. Okay? Give up unhealthy beliefs like you have to be sick. That pharmaceuticals are the only fix, that you can only treat symptoms, you can't treat the origin. That's another big one that we've bought into in this Western world. Oh, I've got this ache and this ache, and well, we'll just give you something for this and something for this and something for this, and hey, take them forever. You know, get a messed up thyroid, take a thyroid pill forever. Got bad cholesterol, here, take a cholesterol pill forever. Do you know coronary heart disease? There's a heart doctor who actually has successfully, repeatedly cured coronary heart disease with energy medicine for the heart, and the heart chakra meditation. Repeatedly. It wasn't just one time. He has success with it continuously, reversing bad stuff. Each chakra we talked about is related to a color. So your healthy food choices, try to eat the rainbow. Okay? Your vegetables, a variety on that. There is strength. We talk about color is just one part of the visible energy spectrum. All right? Light, what we see, the rainbow. One part of actual energy. There's a whole bunch on other sides that we can't see. Okay, this is just a very narrow spot. So we wanted to fully utilize what we can see, the different colors that correspond. So if you're having problems with your center core, you want to boost your yellow veggies. Okay. If you're having lots of headaches or stress up here, you want to boost your blueberries and indigo, deep blue type of fruits and vegetables. I don't know if there's any. You know, there's a vegetable that's deep blue.
Blue corn. Blue corn, but that's not.
It's like a squash, maybe. I don't know.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. Some people believe wearing clothing in certain colors will help those chakras as well. Eggplant. That's
There you go.
Another one is don't cross your legs.
Uh-oh.
I have to keep reminding myself that all the time because if you're thinking like that, what we did with the energy belt at the beginning, making that circuit, you're crossing, you're actually breaking the circuit flow.
Oh.
So that's something subtle, something little. I know for a lot of people it's hard because we're used to either doing
It
this
is
or
hard not to cross your leg.
it is hard. So it may be something you do, it may not be. Liver cleanse, spearmint and lemon. Anytime if you're dealing with autoimmune, lymphatic situations, any major disease, you always want to do a liver cleanse. I start the day with a cup of hot water, 1 drop of lemon, 1 drop of spearmint. If you like honey, you can put a teaspoon of honey in there. It helps to hold the oils in a little bit longer, and just have a cup of hot tea. Some people will say use peppermint. Peppermint is way too strong for me, that close to my nose. It's a very, very potent one. Peppermint's really good also, but they also say if you have high blood pressure, peppermint actually raises your blood pressure. Spearmint doesn't affect it. So if you have high blood pressure, you're never supposed to use peppermint. So you can do that. How about give up coffee?
I don't know to go, and I just never felt like I was totally cognizant.
Caffeinated coffee or both?
So I went from 3 pots of coffee a day,
I don't drink
black,
that much. Yeah.
down to normal caffeine, cup, 4 or 5 cups a day, to decaf coffee, to tea,
Uh-huh.
to decaf tea.
Uh-huh.
Now I just primarily drink water and decaf tea or spearmint tea. That's pretty much. Coffee, actually, they've registered it with the energy stuff.
Uh-huh.
Holding just coffee drops your energy level.
Oh my gosh.
Drinking it drops even farther. So remember, this is different. So we know when we ingest energy, it gives us that energy boost for a little bit, and it does give you a little more clarity of focus. But it's actually dehydrating you,
Right.
which long term makes you fuzzier.
So should you drink a glass of water or what?
So we need to make sure we're hydrated. Your body is supposed to be about 75% water. Most of us don't drink enough water. We don't drink enough water, we feel less clear, less focused,
Sure.
more sluggish. So you boost your water, slowly step down to decaf. Okay? And then
You have
decaf
to
tea if
do
you can.
decaf. I mean, if you have a couple cups a day of regular coffee, do you have to do decaf, do you think?
They say for every 1 cup of regular,
says?
the research on the frequency.
Yeah. They say what now?
So if you think of it like 1 cup of coffee for 3 cups of water
Oh, I see.
to try to get that out of your system.
Okay.
But it's always dropping you.
I see.
And so then you have to figure out how to build yourself up. So the water just tries to dilute it and flush it out,
Right.
but you're still here now.
I drink a lot of, I probably drink 8 to 10 glasses of water. a
It's
day.
awesome. So your coffee here, you start out in the morning, you have your coffee, drops you
3
here.
cups.
Your water is just diluting it to try to get it out of your system.
Right, I see.
2nd cup, 3rd cup, now your energy frequency is
Uh-huh.
here.
Okay. I believe you're going to show me.
So remember,
Okay.
coffee is wonderful. It's just, you make decisions.
Right, exactly.
You're not going to die from having a cup of coffee,
Right,
probably.
right.
It's just what
Well,
do
maybe
you want to do?
Maybe I can get down to 1 cup.
If you're doing all these other things, which brings your energy level, or not your energy level, but your energy frequency back up,
Yes.
you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Grounding. Okay. Right heel, left heel, or left right. If you take a minute and intentionally think, okay, I'm going to plug in like there's an electrical plug in my heels, and I'm plugging them into the ground. Remember we talked about that there's no such thing as solids. The earth energy has energy. So if you're plugging in to the earth, just like we're plugging something into the wall, consciously set your intention on connecting to earth energy and letting earth energy flow up through me to clear my meridians, balance my chakras, try to clear my thing. Most of the time, it just helps you with your meridians. But if you're off balance, feeling weak, compromised system, whatever, that will help you. The one energy teacher who that did the sacred geometry workshop, she said you should be plugging in 20 to 25 times a day, trying to be constantly connected because life is so stressful. So whether you're seated, whether you're standing, whether you go stand out in the grass, okay, plug it in. Do your thing, Earth. Now there's more formal meditations and formal ways to balance your whole system. That's more other stuff, but that's a quick way to start thinking about it. Okay.
How about walking?
Does that suggest that if you don't think that you don't get it? I mean, it seems logical that it's there giving you anything.
The thing is, where we talked about intention and blocking and stuff. So you have choice over the whole thing. If people don't think that they're getting anything, they're not getting anything.
Seriously.
you think about Native American cultures, part of the reason why they slept on the ground, all your chakras are connected to the earth. They were all about great spirit, the value and the sacredness of Mother Earth, that harmony with everything, the energy of the animals, the spirit of the animals, all that stuff that was just part of their basic knowledge. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we are very disconnected in general. If we get anything, it might be a little tickle, even just walking. Most of the people, when they say for the ground to actually be effective, you need to stand still. Okay. It doesn't have to be for hours, but needs to be intentional. You're asking the earth to give you something to share with you. Receiving it, being open to receive it, not blocking. Again, you can block just about anything. You can receive just about anything you want.
So walking for miles or something is good for you, but it doesn't necessarily
affect your energy system.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to be wrapping up. So we have the handout that I gave you. I did coordinate and double, triple check resources and cross check resources. So this is my stuff that I created for you. Has the chakras, their names, color, major functions, variety of information there.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, the second page, their general, if they're functioning correctly, your feelings and reactions. If there's a possible dysfunction, those are some of the possible things that occur. So if you see something on the right-hand side of a dysfunction, say, oh, that could be related to my root chakra. Maybe my root needs some balancing. Okay.
Okay, that's fascinating.
Thoughts, questions?
I just think it's wonderful. I mean, I've always I don't take any prescription drugs, but I've just always felt like what you put in and what you think and what you do manages somewhat how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's environmental things out there that you can't avoid sometimes, but that get you.
Yep. Yeah, we can't necessarily always control our environment, but we can control our reactions to it and then immediately do proactive measures or reactive measures to balance ourselves and to keep making the healthiest choices we can. Whether that's, physical activity is always good. The energy system is one more system. So we wouldn't say system, but hey, go ahead and smoke 5 packs a day because we don't care about your cardiovascular system.
Right.
This is just, now we know for sure we do have an energy system. We need to be aware of it if we want to have more control and choice and total health. So.
I just, one of the things I struggle with now, I don't know if it's just age, but it's sleeping through the night. It is so difficult for me to sleep through the night. Sometimes I have a cup of caffeine-free chamomile tea or something, and that helps. But it's frustrating because I can't think of the last time I slept all through the night.
So different things that are come into factor. We know that as we get older, our body actually needs less sleep, but there's more interruptions. Going back to that caffeine. Caffeine stays in your body 6 to 7 hours. So just keeping that in mind when you have your last cup of coffee or pop or anything. Okay. But we talked about the light issue. Okay, any lights, even small light, that's making your brain go, oh, is it dawn? Should I be waking up? I'm not quite sure, so I shouldn't fall asleep all the way. I mean, it's true. It's true. I don't know. Maybe I should be out of work. I don't know. What's going on? For some people, it's a busy mind syndrome where they just can't stop the to-do list. And so there's things that you can do to actually remove that from the concern, set it aside. There's essential oils that can help. Quiet scent is actually a blend that's typically used for people who have ADD, ADHD. They find great luck with this. I was sitting in the classroom staring at a pile of papers about this deep, not feeling it. I'm trying to grade. I'm like, just kept blanking out, could not make any progress. I'm like, idiot, you got this in the drawer for any students. Why don't you try it? Put it on. Going right through.
Oh my gosh.
Would not have believed it until I tried it. So there's different things like that. You tried the chamomile tea, that works for some
Yes.
people.
Okay.
There's 2 different types, so you might want to check your package to see if you
Okay.
have the German or if you have the other one. I can't remember the other one right now, but one is actually good for sleep. One actually doesn't do
We don't
anything for sleep.
Yes, I don't know
German
which
one
one
is
is
good.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The German one is good, huh?
Um,
Another is German, and the German
there's also different energy therapies that can help you relax and get a better night's sleep.
Right.
I know a really good energy therapist.
Yes, I know you do.
Other questions, other thoughts? Okay, I appreciate all of you coming
Well, thank
and
you so
joining.
much.
I gave you my contact information so
Great.
that way you can check in or stay involved, ask me questions. I do have another workshop coming up in August. It's about mental focus, clarity in the workplace as well as for students. That'll be held at my house. I'm going to move there. I have a wonderful porch and natural environment, all that. So feel free if you have any follow-up questions or anything, let me know.
When are you doing that in August? Do you have a date yet?
One moment, let me check. Let me say bye here. Okay, so that's the end of our workshop. Hope you learned something. Message me. Love you all. Peace and light.